What's up, teammates? No, it's been a minute, but been busy, man. Went snowboarding with the kids, and my body hurts. So that's what that happened. So I was in bed and I was recovering. And I still need more recovery, but I gotta do one of these. So here I am. Now, what are we talking about? We're talking about Aiden, of course, and we're talking about if Aiden can do it again. And what are we looking for him to do again? You looking for 300 yards? Are we looking for the 200 yards? Are we looking to keep us close? Are we looking for a better looking offense? Are we looking to see if Aiden can get us back to what we was doing last year and get a couple of wins? Can he do that again? The most important thing is let's consider the situation we're in. Can Aiden win again? And can Aiden do what he did and win a job for Antonio Pierce? Because if Antonio Pierce's job is on the line, while a lot of people believe that way, I don't believe it. But if we're going to examine this situation, let's look at it from the fact that, okay, maybe he's on the hot seat, which he isn't, because they're not going to get rid of him after just 1 year. They can't do that 3 years in a row. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, why are they going to keep AP? Or why does AP need AO? Because if he really is in the hot seat, he's going to need at least 2 wins out of these last 5 games. And it's going to be up to Aiden to get in for him. Just like it was up for Aiden last year to get him a winning record so AP could have the job in the first place. And now he has the job. He's Minshew blew the daggone job apart. Getsky is just an offensive idiot and deserves so much more blame than he's getting. I mean, okay, the play calling was bad. He chose Gardner Minshew. That was bad. He chose White over McCormick. That was bad. He put James in his center instead of JPJ. That was a bad decision. He didn't put in Delmar Glaze till it was late. That was a bad decision. All these players we have on offense, he wasn't even using any of them correctly. They're just sitting there like just pieces on a mantle. But once we get somebody in there who knows how to do something with it, and got the Scott and Nerve Turner in there. Is that their name? Nerve Turner. Yeah, Scott Turner. Anyway, we got them in there. We got some talent scouts, people who knew something about talented people, and now all of a sudden we've changed 3 or 4 positions on the offense, and we started excelling. And none of which is the damn quarterback. And that's also again on Getsky. Getsky had to be the worst talent scout there is, because if you can't figure out that Aiden O'Connell is better than Gardner Minshew, you don't know what the hell you're doing. And if you can't figure out that Sincere McCormick knows how to read cutbacks and holes at least better than for sure Zamir White, maybe as better than Amir Abdullah, who's pretty decent at it, and Matson, he can hit the corners, but he was doing well. But Matson and Alexander Abdullah were not really killing it, and Sincere McCormick got in and pretty much killed it that last game. He just showed the ability, even if it wasn't all the yards he got, it was his ability to read the holes and to hit the cutbacks. So we have talented players sitting around while Luke Getsky can't figure out how to run the damn offense. And he picking the worst person as he can as a starting quarterback. I mean, it's the fact that Zamir White started over Sincere McCormick because Luke Getsky chose those 2 players and said, okay, this is the one who's the better offensive player, shows that Getsky had absolutely no idea how to scout talent, how to call plays, and who the hell he should have running his offense, because Gardner Minshew was a great big mistake. And all of you out there in Minshew Mania land, hopefully y'all can finally admit that Gardner was a mistake and Aiden should have been starting the whole season, and you were wrong from the beginning. And all of you out there hoarding and hooting and hollering about Aiden stinking, look at what you're getting now. He's getting a lot better than what Minshew was doing. And yes, now Minshew gets another fucking excuse. Everybody gets to say, well, it's not Minshew's fault. Getsky's was the reason that Minshew sucked. Minshew was still missing wide open receivers. I mean, Getsky's offense sucked, but he still drew up an offense enough to get wide open receivers. He might have called the right plays in the right situations, but he had some good plays drawn up. He had plays that worked. They just didn't execute them because Minshew stinks. So now but Getsky doesn't know when to call a play. Minshew doesn't know how to execute a play. The two of those made a terrible combination. So AP's job is not AP himself is not on the hot seat because everybody inside the organization realized that Getsky was a great big fuck up. He went with Minshew, which was a great big fuck up. He put the wrong people on the line, which is why our offensive line was bad and now it's much better. He had a bad running back, our worst running back starting for us. Now our running game's starting to pick up a little bit. And oh yeah, we got a much better quarterback now for at least the last game. And our running game, took off. We'll see what happens next game because like people would like to say, it's only one game. But he did it last year. And then people say, oh, but the Charger game doesn't count because the Chargers didn't want to play, which is stupid. No team goes out there and just from the beginning of the game says, all right, let's see what you guys got because we ain't got nothing. We ain't going to do nothing. Let's just see what you guys can do. Have a good time. We'll just be here waiting for you. Now, teams get beat up and then start giving up. We've seen that. We've seen it in our own damn home field. But, you want to discount that game and highlight the KC game, then fine. Go ahead and do whatever you want to do. You're a hater. You're going to keep giving as much excuse to yourself to hate on Aiden, and that's fine. Be a hater. I don't care. I'm through with it. Because my point has already been proven. Last game proved my point. Aiden O'Connell's a lot better than Minshew, and it's obvious. It was obvious for me a long time ago. It was obvious for anybody with any damn sense who knew how the quarterback works. Anybody who knew what it means to plant your fucking right foot when you throw the ball knows that Minshew can't quarterback. That being said, he's gone now. But his production or lack thereof has put AOP's job in jeopardy. That's what people say. There's a lot of ridiculousness going on out there. We're not bringing Deion Sanders over to the fucking Raiders, okay? First of all, he doesn't want to come. He's happy where he is. He's doing his quasi preaching to the young men in Colorado. He wants to train young folk. I think he's happy with helping these people as players to develop as into men and put them out in the world. I think Deion really feels like he's found his calling in that. I don't think he wants to prove his coaching ability to that extent. I think he's really just wants to do what he's doing as a coach, which is why I think he started at the HBC, historically black universities, which is the stupidest thing I ever heard of, but that's a different conversation. He started there because he felt like the calling was to help, not necessarily to coach. And he went there to help. And then his help was strong enough to another school say, can you help us out? Way over here, please. But I don't think the pull is going to be, hey, Deion, we're going to take your son. Will you come coach with him? First of all, I don't think that's going to go. Second of all, that's going to be a hard road to hoe, boy. I don't see a lot of players being extremely happy with that all the damn time. Especially if Shedeur Sanders yells at them the way he yelled at Hunter about not catching the ball. There's going to be a problem. If he throws a ball and Jacoby drops it and he comes up to Jacoby and says, next time I throw you the ball, you catch the damn ball, and Jacoby gets pissed, but Deion says, hey, don't be yelling at my son like that. Think about that, people. You want Deion Sanders people? Think about the real. How many grown men you think can stand in a room of grown men and tell grown men what to do? And then one of those grown men being one of these dudes' son? I got to do what your son say unless you upset? Or if I don't listen to your dad, your son going to be upset and he ain't going to throw me the ball? We going to deal with family drama inside the inside the locker room with grown men, pro players? You can do that stuff in college. In college, these kids need to learn that. They want to learn from a coach saying this is the best and this is who you gotta be in. I would give differential treatment to those who deserve differential treatment. That's what you teach them in high school or in college, so they learn to develop, and when they go into the real world, to get that differential treatment because they are the progressed past whoever they're going up against. That's what he's preparing them for in the real world, and that's what Deion wants to do, and that's why he wants to say, but come on, man. Too many grown men, too much ego, whole lot of respect, but the coach and the quarterback are like really the two people on the team that get the most respect and the most retention. And if the head coach and the quarterback is a father and son duo trying to tell a bunch of grown men what to do and how to get on the field and having their son holler at them on the sideline, that could turn into trauma or not drama real quick. It's easy to do that in college and have there be no drama. But grown men's going to talk. And Facebook and all these media outlets and all that stuff, that's going to create more problems and drama. Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders as running our team, it's not going to work. And it's not going to happen. And mostly because AP's job is not in danger. But let's go back to if it is in danger. Can AOC do it? Can he put in, he has to go what, win next 2 out of these 5 games, 2 out of these next 5 games before they can save Pierce his job? I think if there were 2 games in the first 10 games of the season with Minshew, and then there would be 2 wins in the last 5 games or 6 games with Aiden, I think that'll save AP's job if the record is the problem. Because if we come back and Aiden gets a couple of wins on, and with Nerve Turner and Scott, you say we got the Turner boys and Aiden, and we turned the whole offense around. So we'll give you more time, Antonio, because it's quite obvious that we had the talent for you. We just did not bring in the right person to control that talent, especially since he couldn't tell talent from a tennis shoe. Who wouldn't figure out put in Samir McCormick in front of Zamir White? And for them to say, oh, well, he wasn't doing it in practice, he just happened to show it in the game. Come on, man, that's ridiculousness. Offensive coordinator chooses who he has playing on the offense. And no one can change that. And no matter how anyone else feels about it, that's the way it is. That's why once he was gone and Getsky packed his stuff, Nerve Turner came in and put in different offensive linemen. He came in and he changed running back. And he was going to change from Zeus whether he got hurt or not. Because you can tell when Zeus wasn't hurt, he still didn't get as many touches. So now he came in, he looked at the talent, and he put him in the right position, meaning Scott Nerve, put him in the right position. I keep calling him Nerve, it's Norv. Anyways, Scott and Norv, the Turner boys. How about I just call them the Turners? So now that we got the Turners and our offensive coordinating, some people who know how to scout some players and recognize talent in people, and have some damn knowledge about how to run a offensive scheme, and especially how to adjust and recreate for whatever the other team is doing. The Turner boys got that down. They could use it with Aiden. Aiden can get a couple of wins, and those wins will save Antonio Pierce's job. But he doesn't need those wins because his job's not in jeopardy. And Deion Sanders is not coming. Bill Belichick is not coming. Tom Brady's not going to bring in somebody new. We're not picking up some other coach that people, whoever's out there that they're talking about, he's not coming to the team. AP's not going anywhere. He can't go anywhere. He's already changed the culture. He's already changed the team. Everybody in the behind the scenes loves Antonio Pierce. Everybody behind the scenes loves Antonio Pierce just as much as the fans out here did after his first speech. After his first speech, they feel the same way. All you fans out there, you ne'er-do-wells and you fair-weather fans, and okay, the Raiders lose a lot, so you can't be a fair-weather fan if you're still watching, but I'm not going to watch until they get better and they suck so bad that they shouldn't be watched. The fan haters, the hater fans. Yeah, there's Raider fans and they're hater fans. And they're fans that hate the Raiders. But they love the Raiders, they just love to hate even more. So they rather get out here and just complain and BS about the team and shoot the shuck on whenever they give their opinions. Never say anything positive, unlike me. So, we're in a good shape. Antonio Pierce in a good position. Deion Sanders ain't coming. Shedeur Sanders might come. If Aiden plays well enough to save Antonio Pierce's job, though, Shedeur might not be on the menu. We might play our way out of Shedeur. I don't know exactly what who's going to be in front of us drafting, so maybe he'll fall to us or we'll be in the right position to get him. I don't know if they're going to put a package together to get Shedeur Sanders. I know that a lot of people see it as Shedeur being a Raider as locked in, and Sir Bob been saying it for a year and a half since before last draft, and it's now starting to come more and more to fruition. But will it really come all the way? I don't know. Because it's not like Deion Sanders can say Raiders are nobody. I mean, he technically can say Raiders or don't go to the draft, but I don't know. He can do that. I don't really see happening, though. And I don't see him having that much power. Even with the Manning boys, they didn't have total. He wasn't like he's not going to San Diego and he is going to go to the Giants. It was just, I don't care what y'all do, but he ain't going there. That's for sure. I don't know those people. I don't like those people. Y'all go ahead and start talking to the people that I like and get it together. But it's not going to be you guys sit down and sit on your hands and twiddle your thumbs until it's time for the Raiders to pick Shedeur Sanders. I don't see that happening. Deion Sanders don't got that type of damn pull. Deion Sanders and Tom Brady together don't that type of damn pull. You can't just tell every owner in the league, don't do what we want you to do or what you want to do what we want you to do because we're both Hall of Famers and we're both the best to ever play our positions. So do what we say. I mean, yeah, that's some good, people to have on your behind you. That's some pedigree to throw out there and say, yeah, these two guys is telling us what to do. But that doesn't mean they're going to sit back and say, oh, yes, Mr. Brady. Okay, Mr. Sanders, enjoy your career with your son in Las Vegas. No. But he still could come. If we got a good enough position and we draft him, it's great. Are they going to put a package together to draft him? I don't know. I don't know how solidified the plan is. And if, we'll go back to where I believe the tank started from the beginning with putting Minshew in there in the first place. I mean, whether it was Getsky and he just did it because that's what he wanted to, or Telesco helped convince Getsky that we should play Minshew, whatever it was, Minshew was not going to win his games. Telesco knew that. And he had Minshew in there playing. And he stank up the joint. And if you had the plan of going into next year and getting Shedeur Sanders because Tom Brady and Deion Sanders are best friends and they couldn't wait for it to happen, okay, fine. That'd be the plan. And if that was the plan, well, then you would have been executing that plan from the beginning of last draft. If you're executing that plan, then losing is part of it. Okay? And letting Gardner Minshew get in there and lose the first 4 or 5 games for us, and then have Aiden come in and try to save it and see what he can do, and hopefully they still fall low enough to get a decent pick, and even then they could make a package, especially with the stuff that they got for Devontae. What they were hoping with the stuff that they were going to be able to get for Devontae, because they were going to get rid of Devontae from the beginning of the season too. That was Telesco's idea. I don't know how many people he told about it, but from the tip, he was getting rid of Devontae. You could tell. It seemed like that, but I don't know. You weren't sure until you were sure. But I didn't think that Telesco was going to hold on to Dante's money upcoming next season. And he knew he had to get rid of him, be it sooner or later. So sooner came the decision. Once Devontae didn't get his quarterback, he was ready to go anyway. And he guaranteed Minshew the first 4 games. So what was he going to do after that? He got through the first 4 games. They kept letting him play. He got tired of doing this because he didn't want to keep getting hospital balled. And he left. He saved the money. Telesco looks good. And Brock's going to be Rookie of the Year maybe. Telesco looks good. This tank plan worked out. Telesco looks good. If we get Shedeur Sanders, then Telesco looks good. If Aiden plays us out of the Shedeur Sanders, bowl, then Telesco still looks good. And if somehow we have a successful season and we get Shedeur Sanders, then we really look good. If Aiden is successful, will they still draft Shedeur Sanders with their first pick if they have him? I think so. He's too talented to pass up. No matter what they think of Aiden, if they can get him, they got to get him as far as Shedeur goes. But I don't personally think that they will put a package together to trade up so that they could get Shedeur Sanders. And if they did, they'd probably put in like a package that would include Aiden O'Connell, so it would make it easier for them to get what they want to get and use him as some collateral. Because, I mean, if you really want to run your franchise behind Shedeur Sanders, then get rid of Aiden O'Connell and bring in somebody who you think can mentor him better than Aiden O'Connell, because they're longer in the tooth, they're older veterans or whatever. Because we're going to screw Aiden O'Connell over, give him to another team, screw him over, let them see what he can do. Because we're not going to find out what he can do here because we want to screw him over with Jimmy Garoppolo, and then we're going to put in Gardner Minshew over him. Let's get the kids, just let them go somewhere else. Let them go to a team where their quarterback really stinks and give him an opportunity. Shit, he should go play for the Jets. Anyway, the silver lining is Antonio Pierce's job is not in jeopardy anyway, so it doesn't really matter what our record is for the end of the season. Aiden O'Connell, his starting job is in jeopardy no matter how we do at the end of the season or we do for the rest of the season. Shedeur Sanders being drafted by us is up in the air no matter what happens for the rest of the season. So the wins and the losses have to come. We have to see how it all pans out. But at the end, it seems like we're going to draft Shedeur Sanders if we can, whether Aiden wins or not. If Aiden doesn't win and we get Shedeur Sanders, I guess that's probably the best. That would be the best scenario for us all, even for Shedeur, because maybe he should sit behind Aiden for a few, maybe a year or 6 months or 6 games if he doesn't have it, or he just never beat Aiden out. that's a possibility too. You know, Shedeur Sanders is good. His mobility is not, what we're believing it to be. He's more athletic for damn sure, or a whole lot faster. He can run with the ball when he finds open field. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he still nets negative yards over seasons. So, yeah, he runs a little bit, but he gets sacked a lot more. So, either he's not running as much as he could in college and it'll change it up when he gets to pros, like he's hiding that part of his game, or he's just really not all that mobile as a running quarterback. And he just is a scramble. Just, a 5-10 yard running quarterback, not a get downfield and break it loose like Jaden Daniels running quarterback. But we'll see if we get him on our team. That's if. And there's a long time to figure out or to find out if it's actually going to happen. But when it does happen and we figure out if he is here or not, Shedeur Sanders, when or if he becomes a Raider, his head coach will be Antonio Pierce. That's guaranteed. Antonio Pierce is not going anywhere. They're not going to risk the culture that he's helped create in the building for the fans and the fact that Getsky couldn't put an offensive plan together. So, silver lining is AP is going to be there. That's, for me, that's the silver lining. That keeps me warm and comfy because we don't need to go out there and guess again. We're not guessing now. We know who he is as a person. We know what he can do as a head coach. And now we just have to see if he progresses in game management situations. Because that's really his only problem, is game management situations, as far as when should he call a timeout or when he shouldn't. And how is the flow of the game going to go? He hasn't even developed his tendencies. Everybody has tendencies, especially in athletics. You have play calling tendencies. You have tendencies of how you like to throw the ball. That's why people watch a film and they read your tendencies. The hard thing now is he doesn't have any tendencies. He doesn't have anything. He hasn't done it more than once to see how he's going to do it for the next 2 times. He has to do this and learn it he shall. And he is, as he's doing it. And we're improving. And we got rid of Getsky. And the Turner boys are killing it. And we got Aiden O'Connell starting. And we got a better offensive line. And we got Samir McCormick and see what he does. So, I say sincere. And see what he can do. Whole new season. Whole new team. Whole new set of goals. In my opinion, the goal was to tank. Forget it. Tom Telesco set us up to tank. You can say I'm wrong, and everybody can say I'm wrong. And I probably am wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and go to my grave thinking that. I'm going to go ahead and keep it. I'm going to hold it close to my chest. It'd be one of the last things I said. Tell my family I love them, and when no Tom Telesco tanked the team. Word up. That's where I'm going to be with it. So, don't worry about AP, in my opinion. Definitely don't worry about Deion coming through, in my opinion. And if Shedeur Sanders is draftable, I'm not worried about him coming through either, because if he's better than Aiden, then he's better than Aiden. If he's not, he's not. But we'll have 2 good quarterbacks because Aiden's good. And if Shedeur is truly better than Aiden, then Shedeur is really good. Because if Aiden can throw 350 and 2 touchdowns, or 340 and 2 touchdowns, and Shedeur is better than him, then he'll throw 350 and 3 touchdowns, right? Or he'll throw 340 and he'll run for a touchdown, right? Because that's his athleticism coming in, right? So we'll see. We will definitely see once we get him on a team, if we do. So we have to wait and see how the draft falls out, how our season falls out, and we'll see if we can win in the draft for Shedeur. But you can't win them all. And the clouds get dark. But when you're looking for the bright side, come to the silver lining. Guru out.